Hello, welcome to this morning where we have a snow day.
We don't have a snow day. We're going to work soon.
Oh, we're on the grind.
But it is snowing outside. There's a cute puppy in the field.
I was a young person when I got back from Asia. Like, snow was the most incredible thing. We built, I remember, in snowbanks, which looking back on it, it's probably really dangerous. But we built like on the side of the snowbanks, we would build
Forts?
houses. Yeah, like forts,
So
I guess.
dangerous.
We'd have little digging tools and we'd go tobogganing. Like, I
you
loved
lived-
winter.
Did you live on a busy street or quiet street?
I don't know. It's probably
doesn't matter.
Yeah, probably.
It's probably still
Snow
dangerous.
plow's a snow plow if they go by. Were you a winter wonderland person, or did you are you a hibernator? But we did go through a season of skiing, and we've never really it's because of the kids more than anything.
Yep.
And I feel like we did activities due to the kids, and I think we did really good at them. And now I think we're getting to be those people, like those Canadians, like the grizzly bears. And we just, let's go back to sleep and eat bacon and maple syrup.
If we could, we would go somewhere warm.
I don't think I would do. Yes, if I could go somewhere where you've been, if they would let me, I would do that for a little bit. Maybe a week or two. It'd be nice just to break it up.
Cuba will let you in.
Do you think?
Oh, yeah.
Cuba? Viva la Cuba?
Yeah.
What language do they speak in Cuba? Mexican?
Cuban.
Cuban? Do they really? They have a sandwich named after Cuba. It's called the Cuban.
They don't speak Cuban.
No.
They speak, I can't think right now.
No.
It's not Spanish.
This is horrible. Our knowledge of the world is very small.
No, I do know this.
Spanish.
It is Spanish.
Yes. Thank you.
I had to think about it for a second. But there's other
that was an easy one.
Anyway.
We would do horribly in Trivia Pursuit. Remember Trivia Pursuit?
Do terribly
and
in Trivia
Jeopardy.
Pursuit, but I would do very well in Amazing Race. I would.
With who? Who would be your partner?
You, of course, because you could
I
do
think
really well at some of the stuff, and then I'm very good at navigating airports and getting off the train and finding our way down the street and following the instructions on the card. I would do very well.
I get the feeling if I wanted, and don't be offended, if we were on that show, I think we would be the team to watch until we lost, because there would be a lot of...
I'm not saying we would win.
There would be a lot of awkward situations.
We tend to react to each other.
There would be...
but we've come so far. I think we'd be boring now.
I don't think we'd be boring.
Except when you got turned away not entering a country.
I'd be looking for meat, and you'd be in the race with the map, and there'd be some interesting conflicts. I think that would happen. You would probably get diarrhea, and I wouldn't be tolerating it because you ate something other than meat, and I could see it not going well. And then we'd be the team that got kicked out after halfway, and we'd be crying, but we grew so close, and everybody's like, no,
you guys are crazy. How are you even married?
Pastor John and Pastor Vicky on our shirts.
I'm not saying it's a good idea.
Oh,
just saying.
We should do that. We should create our own little Amazing Race Ottawa. Maybe somebody's already done that, but that would be cool. To invite the Ashes to Rubies people and do a little Amazing Race. I think you would be good at setting that up. You're really good at puzzles. You're really good at problem solving. I think we would have to get in shape a little bit more, because I've seen some of the activities and I'm not quite sure that I don't want to get disqualified for
because you couldn't run
dysfunctional activities.
Yeah.
And then the heat, I'd be complaining. Let's just read. All right, here we go. We could do it in Spanish in honor
Next week,
of our
we get
Cuban
to do coldest
friends.
night of the year. That's kind of similar.
It's kind of not, but all right, here we go. Alcohol is poison to the alcoholic. Poison is not too strong of a word. It's not even a strong word, because alcoholism leads eventually to the death of the alcoholic. It may be a quick death. It might be a slow death. When we go by package stores, we see various kinds of liquor, all dressed up in fancy packages. They do that to make it look attractive. We should always make it a point to say to ourselves, so we'll never forget it, that stuff's all poison to me. And it is. Alcohol poisoned our lives for a long time. Do I know that since I'm alcoholic, all liquor is poisoning to me? I do. All right. I must somehow find the means of coming near to God. That is what really matters. I must somehow seek the true bread of life, which is communion with Him. I must grab at the truth. I must grab at the truth at the center of all worship. This central truth is all that matters. All forms of worship have this communion with God as their purpose and goal. Oh, that's interesting to kind of bring up that alcohol is poison and it has all these seductive fancy packages. And I'm like super attracted to them. Like I'm not attracted to other things. I'm just attracted to that. Like whatever they put on those packages, it's all I think about. It's all I want. Whenever I go to like go for wings, I just like I smell the smell, I hear the fun, and I'm just like I'm just not having enough fun. And I'm like I need that. I need the liquid. I need that pretty package to be in me so that I can have fun. But that's no.
Okay.
The illusion of that. And I can remember now that I can look at it as poison, but before I used to look at it as like, well, you can't really have fun without it because it's like the gas in my motor. Like it's the gas to like get me going. And so I remember sitting at a pub with people, even friends, and we just are like, yeah.
Why? What?
I'm socially inept. And then I have like 2 beers and oh my goodness, the conversations we would have, the talks we would have, the intimate, the closeness, the laughs. And it's like without that, I couldn't even imagine life because I wouldn't be able to talk to people. I wouldn't be able to laugh. I'm not funny. It's awkward.
That's the delusion that you lived
That's
in
the
before.
delusion. And the reality is it is poison. Like my motor.
You are funny.
My
and you
motor
can carry a conversation.
No,
Who knew?
I'm not funny. Like I'm not. Am I here to amuse you? Am I a clown? I was in a movie.
I know.
And it's like really I get to understand that my motor doesn't run on the spirit of alcohol. It runs on the spirit of God. And so now I can look. Have you ever seen those videos that it's hilarious. We can watch them after. The woman does a treat to the man and she's got his pickup truck. And when he gets in the car, like she came home and now they're going out and she's like, oh honey, I filled up your vehicle. Like I filled up the truck. I did really good. And I used like there was this yellow pump and that's what I used. And he's like, did it say diesel? Yeah. That's what it was. It seemed really special because there was only one. And he starts freaking out because that'll wreck his truck. I know, but it's a joke.
Oh.
It's a reaction joke of like, I did something really good, but I poisoned your vehicle and now it's going to die. And it's like, that's what I've come to understand with alcohol. It's poison to me. Like it's not attractive anymore. I know that we're going to a hockey game tonight, and I know that there's going to be beer. There's going to be double-fisted beers. There's going to be spilt beers, and to me, that's not like it's poisonous to me. So it's not attractive anymore.
It's lost its attraction.
What things are poisonous to you in your world of
overscheduling myself and cramming and internal dialogue and gossip, and
those are all poison because it gets your adrenaline going.
Yeah, it gets my adrenaline going. I was even watching a show. I forget what show it was. Someone had told me this show's
Amazing
This
Race.
show's really good. No, but it was it was a show about she was a single mom and she kept having all these problems, but she kept and I was like, I can't watch this show.
And you're like,
I can't watch this show.
That I
like
live.
I could fix all her problems and like I just it kept like.
Does intervention do that to you too?
No. Well, I haven't watched it in a really long time. I don't know. It lost its appeal.
I know we stopped watching. Like
Well,
TV
it's
has
terrible.
changed so drastically.
It feels very exploitive. And anyway, I don't watch that show.
So what's your poison? For those that are tuning in, what is poison to you now that you know that if you ingest it, it does produce something, but it's actually in the end it's death. And so that might be your cell phone time, that might be your sugar, that might be overeating, that might be over exercising, that might be work and all of the energy that goes into it. It might be pornography, whatever it is.
Control.
Yeah. Are you looking at that as a poison? And then in the second part of the meditation, only God can set me free from that. And only God can fuel me from a different fuel. Only God can take out the diesel oil and fix the motor so it's running properly.
You can't put diesel in your car.
You literally can't. I
can't.
actually tried it one day.
Why?
Like I didn't mean to. No, I didn't try it. I don't know. And I should know these things. And I went and I'm like, what the heck happened to? And I couldn't even get it. I was like,
you can't put it.
I was going to try to. I know.
I had a loaner vehicle when they were fixing our car after I got rear-ended, and the construction company gave me a loaner vehicle because they were fixing the car, and it had a yellow gas cap. And I was like,
you would just assume like yellow.
I'm like, it has a yellow gas cap. So should I put diesel? Like I just didn't know. And so I actually asked the gas station attendant, and they were like, ooh, I think so, but I don't know. And so I was like, well, I'm not putting anything in. And I looked in the vehicle. It didn't say. It didn't say. So then I went into Costco because I was at the Costco gas thing. And I went into Costco, and then I saw these like worker guys. I was like, hey, I'm profiling you right now. You look like you'd know the answer to this question. I have a company vehicle, a loaner, and it has a yellow gas cap. Do you think that means it needs diesel, or do you think it's like just? And they said no.
And they say, you're so pretty.
No,
pretty.
No, they said, oh, our company vehicles actually have like gas caps, like yellow gas caps too.
Oh, weird.
I know. And so I was like, okay. He's like, if it's diesel, it's gonna say diesel on it. And I was like, okay, I'll go back and look.
So if you put diesel in a gas, it's not as bad as putting. You guys look
like you work with your hands.
If you put gas in a diesel, it's over. That's game over.
I know that.
So yeah. We have a trail of YouTube videos that we could go down.
So now I don't run without thinking. Like I can pause and think and ask questions, ask God, ask for insight, ask for intuition. Whereas before, like I would just like run without thinking. Just keep going. I'm in a hurry. Oh, I got to get to the groceries. I got to get this. So I better quick put gas in. Like, so now I'm like, no, I can wait. I can ask questions. Like I tried to get a hold of you. I couldn't get a hold of you. So I was like, I'll just ask people and then I'll get the information I need. And then, whereas like old me would just get all flustered and work. And
we only solve this poison problem by the power of God. All right, here's our prayer for today. I pray that I may meet God in quiet communion. I pray that I may partake of the soul food which God has provided for me. Amen. All right, have a great Friday. You woke up this morning and looked over at me and said, yay, it's Friday. I'm like, yay. So have a great Friday, and we will hopefully see you maybe this weekend or maybe family day, probably maybe. And oh yeah, it's family day. Woohoo. Keep the peace, be of good behavior, and we'll see you later.